Hey guys, Thunder E here, and yes, that was the Galaxy S25 Ultra's box and packaging. The device is safe and well. Here's the device right here. It comes in a few flavor colors. This is called silver blue, titanium silver blue. Looks silver to me. I don't know where the blue is, but this is what the device looks like, and it's got a very interesting feel to it. Now, some of you might think it looks the same, and to be fair, it kind of does. You've got similar dimensions, but the rounder edges make for a more comfortable feel compared to the sharper edge on the regular S24 Ultra. You've also got some new cameras. Now, the main new thing on the camera is the ultra wide with a 50 megapixel sensor. Now this sensor brings in a couple of new advantages. Number one, better macro photography, and also better imagery with the ultra wide and video, especially in low light, because you're not capturing more, you've got also better megapixels here. We'll talk more about the camera in a second, but the camera housing also has a different unique look with that, I call it like the sexy black ring. 5,000 milliamp battery in here. You also have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. A lot of integration with Samsung and Qualcomm to make this really specialized for this device. So we look at benchmarks in gaming when we make our gaming video and all that fun stuff. But there's a lot of AI conversation with this device, and Samsung's added quite a bit. And one of the first things you notice is the Now bar, which we've seen in One UI beta updates. It's finally here fully on this device. And it's right there in your notification or your lock screen. And what that does is it brings up information for you. And I like the fact that when I set up my device, I did my unboxing, by the way, which you guys should check out. It's pretty straightforward because the packaging is very bare, except for that nice lithography in the front and USB Type-C cable. That's it. When you set up your device, it pulls information you already have from your Google account. So in my case, I am a big football fan, soccer. And my two favorite teams are playing today because it's the UEFA Champions League. It's Wednesday. It's always match day. So I was glad to see that Real Madrid won 5-1 and Arsenal, thank God, won 3-0. Pulling that information means that my day feels much better and I can make this video for you guys with ease, that I know everything is good in the world with my team. But the Now bar pulls in information relevant to you and also can pull in from different applications. There's also something called the morning brief, which now says good afternoon. It changes as the time of the day goes. And this brief basically pulls in like weather information and also news stories. Right now it's pulling one from USA Today saying winter brings the biggest risk to home fires. Not good. But you can add to that into the settings there. You can look at content to include, and you can select and unselect the content you want, like your health and wellness, so things from like your smart ring, your smartwatch, your travel, from your travel applications, your moments, your gallery stories, your routines, which will come in important, smart home, and YouTube Shorts. So that can be pulled in to gather information for you that's more relevant. But speaking of routines, this is another AI feature that I do like. There's more in-depth natures in the settings here, in modes and routines. Look at things like sleep, driving, exercise, relaxation, your work, and you can basically set up routines around that. And it does that for you by giving you suggestions, going, I've watched what you're doing. Basically, the AI is basically following what your routines are and goes, hey, I notice you wake up in the morning, you turn on the lights, and then also maybe you turn on your coffee machine because you've got a smart switch on it. Can I do that for you? Because again, you're controlling all of this off your smartphone. That I like. That is a very nice feature. Now, the third one is the new AI assistant on the device. Bixby and Gemini forming a team together. And the cool thing is that number one, you don't have to say Bixby, doesn't matter. And you don't have to call it Gemini, doesn't matter also. What you can do is basically hit your power button and give it a prompt and ask it to do something. And here's one that I do like. Real Madrid just played today, so I'm gonna go find the next 2 Real Madrid games and save them in my calendar and remind me of the matches. So it's gonna search for it. It's gonna do its job.
Got it. You wanna create these 2 tasks. Do you wanna go ahead and create them right now?
Yes.
Okay, everything's done.
Stephanie, I have them in my calendar. I can go ahead and look at it and see, yep, there we go. So I've got the matches saved, and I like the fact that I can contextually talk to Gemini in this case. It pulls the information and saves it into my Galaxy calendar, which is nice. Now, AI features beside, there's also a lot of hardware things on this device that are different. Granted, the device kind of looks similar with slight little difference. I will say it kind of looks like the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus had a baby and it grew up a little bit bigger than its parents. That's what I think it is. The hardware has some changes, especially when it comes down to gaming. There is a new vapor cooling chamber, 40% bigger. There's also a new cooling layer, which I can't remember the name, but I remember the acronym is called TIM, like Tim Schofield. Check out his channel. He's not also a cooling layer, but he's also a cool guy. That was a cheesy dad joke. That was terrible, I'm sorry. But you get the idea. It does help in cooling the device better. So when you're gaming or doing a lot of heavy tasks, this device should actually run much cooler. I can't wait to check it out when it comes to gaming on the device. Now, the camera, taking a look at what the camera can do. You open up the camera app. A couple of things in here is that you hit video, and when you start recording, it's got this nice slider. It's a smooth side slider, which you can access, giving you a much smoother zoom so you can do things a little bit more cinematic. And then if you go into Pro Video, you can shoot in log, which is really nice. And Hayato approves because now he's gonna make me shoot everything in log. But the cool thing is you can add that feature to shoot in log, not just in the Pro Video, but also in the regular video as well. You can also increase the bit rate for the log video. So basically you can have the more compressed version, or you can go higher. Higher is always better for log. That's pretty much it. I think when you look at everything this device brings to the table, there's a lot of new additives. I also didn't talk about the S Pen because there is a reduction or an exclusion, or they've taken something out. The S Pen I love. I write a lot with it. I use the air commands and air gestures, but there's one command that you will not be able to do anymore, which is use the S Pen as a remote shutter for your camera, because Bluetooth is no longer built into the S Pen. Why? Samsung says, according to them, less than 1% of people actually use that feature on the S Pen, so they took it off. You can use air commands directly on the device, but that is gone. You have to use your palm, say cheese, use your Galaxy Watch or your Galaxy Ring. So you have to either buy stuff or talk, one of the two. Which I think is a bit of a bummer because the price didn't go down. If you reduced it by the amount that it costs for me, I would not necessarily appreciate it, but I can understand. And I think taking away from the premier device feels like you're taking away something. And granted, if they're correct that most people don't use it, I can see why, but I'll leave that up to you.